Yeah, that's nice.
What's up, guys? It's Rev J again. Last time we got the heads on and kind of everything on top of them, rockers and all that stuff. Now we're going to come back and put all the other stuff on top, get the rocker covers or valve covers, or if you want to call them, the intake manifold, all the front accessories and all that, and kind of go through that. Now, right as we were about to do that, my buddy Sandwiches noticed that in the driver's side head, the coolant temp sensor was broken off. And here it is. I'll get a close-up of it in a second here. As you can see here, there is the broke off end, and it was in the head. Of course, we realized this after we torqued the heads in place. Not the best time to find out if you have something broken. We were looking around for some easy outs to thread it backwards, and he grabbed this, and this is one of those weird expanding screwdrivers. Thankfully, it wasn't stuck in there too bad, because he was able to just jam it in there, expand the screwdriver, and back it out, and it worked. So I gotta say that is a great save on his part using a fairly non-conventional tool. So I don't know if you guys are gonna be that lucky if that happens to you, but we got lucky in our case. We're gonna go ahead and put the new coolant temp sensor in this head and move on with the rest of the upper engine assembly. So I guess we just gotta get to work. With the coolant temp sensor now in place, we can get to work on the steam crossover tubes. Then both valve covers can be installed, tightened, and torqued down to spec. After removing the tape that we had protecting the intake ports, I can go ahead and clean off the mating surface. Finally, we can drop the intake manifold back into place, bolt it down, and reconnect all the electrical and fuel lines going to it. Be as careful and as thorough as possible. A small problem here can become a huge problem later. We didn't show it, but make sure to reinstall your front accessory drive. Then you can do all the belt routing, finishing over the tensioner. Alright guys, it has been a crazy couple of days in the shop getting the heads done and everything, but thankfully they are all bolted up, the coil packs are on, and all that good stuff. And as you can see in my hand here, I am holding a new set of headers. One of the biggest things holding us back was staying with those LS2 Trailblazer SS headers. Now for a cast manifold, they're one of the best ones you can get, but they still hold you back, especially when you're starting to do big flowing heads and stuff like this. So we're trying out a set of Hedman Hustler LS swap headers. I believe these are for the 67 to 72 Chevy pickups. This is a 66. This is a 66 with a 71 cross member in it. Now the mounts are different. I still have the old school motor mounts, but these seem to clear. However, a little massaging is going to have to be done to the upper part of the frame rail, and the most annoying thing is the stupid ears on the 4L80E. If you guys are running 4 LEDs, the bottom of the inspection cover for the torque converter has 2 big cast ears in the side of it, and they stick in the way of everything. Right now, mine are just kind of in the way, and they barely cleared with the Trailblazer SS manifolds, but with these, they've got to go, so we're hooking up the air saw and chewing those ears off. Now, you don't want to go insanely deep. For those of you that are running the lower inspection cover, we're not running it. We're going to try to cut just shallow enough to leave the bolt holes usable if we do use the inspection cover, but we need to ensure enough clearance for the headers. So we're going to plug up the spark plug holes here so we don't get any of this in those new heads, and go ahead and cut off those ears.
Air saw, angle grinder, hammer and chisel, any should work. We ended up using all 3. Before we go any further, we decided to clean out the primary tubes on the headers. It's not uncommon for a little bit of metal to be left over from machining and welding, but in our case we found a shocking amount of metal shavings in each primary tube. We pushed a rag through, and as you can see here, we produced nearly a full Brillo pad's worth of metal shavings from each primary. Going in and out and in and out a few different times to just get the header fitment perfect. We were happy with where it was. We could go ahead and bolt them to the heads with the gaskets. Then we could properly torque down the supplied hardware. With that, guys, the header tubes are installed. We still have to build a full exhaust for it, but we'll be doing that in a future episode. For now, it's just open header tubes. I'm also going to go ahead and throw in the MSD wires as well as some heat shields, just to be on the safe side around those headers. Then, there's only one important thing left to do. Sure, it could be started without the air cleaner, but I don't need to take the risk. 5 extra minutes to throw the intake tube back on really is worth it in the long run.
Alright, I'm going to go a couple times. Okay. To try to build some oil pressure. And let me know if something sounds sad.
You'll hear it too.
Yeah, I know. So fuel pump fuse?
Fuel pump fuse.
I'm scared, Mommy. Help me. It does. It's kind of shitty plastic. Okay.
It's a cheap ABS.
Here's the scary part.
Don't forget to
that
prime.
was kind of the scary
Don't
part.
forget to prime the pump.
Yeah. I'm going back off. Putting the fuse in. Okay.
Just prime the pump first. We have fuel pressure.
Okay.